a former Met police officer who carried out a lamentably poor investigation into Wayne Couzens has been found guilty of gross misconduct. Samantha Lee failed to make the correct investigative inquiries into two flashing incidents, a panel heard. Couzens killed Sarah Everard in southwest London soon after exposing himself to staff at a branch of McDonald's. During the hearing, Ms. Lee admitted she made some errors in the investigation, but denied gross misconduct. She is no longer a police officer, having left last year, but was a PC at the time. The police disciplinary panel heard Ms. Lee carried out a lamentably poor and rushed investigation into the two incidents when Couzens exposed himself to female members of staff at the fast food restaurant in Swanley, Kent, on 14 and February 27, 2021. The former PC went to the restaurant as part of her investigation on March 3, which was hours before Couzens kidnapped Ms. Everard in Clapham. The McDonald's manager told the hearing he had shown her CCTV of Couzens where his number plate was clearly visible, and showed her receipts which recorded the last 4 digits of Couzens' card. She said he had told her the footage had already been deleted, a claim the hearing was told was a lie to cover up her failure. Panel Chairman Darren Snow found this dishonesty amounted to gross misconduct, and that had Ms. Lee still been a serving officer, she would have been dismissed from the force. Reading the panel's findings, Mr. Snow found that Sam Taylor, the McDonald's manager, was a credible witness, and it was inconceivable that he would not have shown her the CCTV evidence. He added that the panel believed Ms. Lee had been driven to dishonesty by the pressure of the investigation. In her evidence, Ms. Lee admitted she had made errors, but said nothing she could have done would have changed the tragic outcome of what happened to Sarah Everard. As much as I have thought it over and over, I don't believe that anything I could have done would have changed the tragic outcome of what happened later that day, she said. In March this year, Couzens was sentenced to 19 months in prison after admitting 3 counts of indecent exposure. He was already serving life behind bars for the kidnap, rape and murder of Ms. Everard. The third indecent exposure incident related to when Couzens exposed himself to a female cyclist on a Kent country lane in November 2020. Evidence heard by the panel has highlighted questions around the wider police response. The 999 call, made by the McDonald's manager on February 28, prompted the operator to run the registration details of the black seat XEO through the police national computer, which confirmed it was registered to Wayne Couzens and gave his home address, but didn't show he was a serving police officer. Paul Ozen KC, representing the Met, told the hearing there was no standard check that takes place to see whether a suspect in criminal police cases are police officers. This is an issue that's been previously highlighted by the Chief Constable of British Transport Police, Lucy D'Orsay, who wrote on a policing blog in January it was in her view a priority issue for our attention. The case will also raise questions once again over how police respond to indecent exposure offences, which campaigners believe need to be taken far more seriously. The panel heard that the 999 call was initially treated as comparatively low urgency. Former PC Lee was not assigned to attend the scene until 3 days later. Just 9 hours later, Couzens kidnapped Sarah Everard. During the hearing, Ms. Lee accepted she could have done more around CCTV and evidence gathering, but added she did not believe that anything I could have done would have changed the tragic outcome of what happened later that day.